All right, I'm here today with Heather, who has been doing really well here in the Luke Briggs Fitness Coaching Program. And Heather is going to share a little bit about herself, her experience, and the results that she's gotten in the program. So, Heather, why don't we just start off? Tell me a little bit about yourself, like who you are, where you're from, and where you were before joining the program.
Absolutely, Luke. So, hi everyone. My name is Heather Cloth, and I live in Deerfield, Wisconsin. And I am a infection preventionist for the VA hospital here in Madison. I've been doing that now for a couple of years. Been in infection control actually for about 5 or 6 years. Right before the pandemic hit, I actually just finished up my master's degree in infection prevention and epidemiology and became certified in infection control, and obviously got to put that to use right away. So I basically have been doing, desk jobs for quite a few years, and decided to get bariatric surgery in November of 2019. And of course, with bariatric surgery comes, loose skin, and you're trying to build up your strength again. And, you get some body dysmorphia and things like that. So I decided to actually reach out on a Dane County website to look for a personal trainer, and was actually prompted by one of your members to look you up. And so I did. And that's kind of where we are today.
Awesome. Yeah, and obviously happy that we connected as well. So, kind of take us through, like, what were some of your goals kind of before joining? Like, what were you struggling with, like, specifically?
Yeah, so I definitely was struggling with my fitness levels. Like, I thought, cardio was going to kind of cut it for me. And, I was struggling with not having a lot of toned muscle definition, and just that body dysmorphia that kind of came with that, because I'm like, okay, I lost like 100 pounds and that's great, but there's got to be something more that I can do. And I used to run 5Ks. I used to do lifting. I did a personal training program, like about 15 years ago, and actually did really well with that. Kind of fell out. So I thought, oh gosh, like I have this body and I want to take care of this body, and I'm struggling to take care of this body, even though I did something to help with that. And so, I would kind of do like various workouts. I had a rower, elliptical, cardio machines, but not really anything in terms of lifting, because I wasn't quite sure where to start or what to do. And then after you and I connected, it was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna have this program and this is gonna be awesome. So hopefully I can kind of stick with it and get some good work in and kind of see where it goes.
Absolutely. And obviously, like I said, you've been doing really well. So, I mean, what were maybe some of, like, your biggest hesitations about joining the program initially, like, if you had any?
Yeah, so I think the biggest one initially was I have the drive, but then it was like, am I going to stick to it? Like, that was the biggest thing. I have, sometimes I make these elaborate plans, or I kind of make plans to do things, and then I'm like, I'm going to spend the money to do this, but am I actually going to go forward with it? And so I was like, I think at this point I've been so focused on trying to take care of myself, especially with COVID and the pandemic. And I think a lot of people kind of turned to their health a little bit and said, I need to do something about this. And so it was like, screw it. I'm just going to go ahead and jump in, and I'm going to go both feet in and hopefully just kind of drive with it, and ended up finding that I could actually stick with it as well as I thought I was going to.
Awesome. Happy to hear that, Heather. And what's maybe like some of the biggest value you've gotten from the program, like maybe even that you didn't expect?
Yeah, so the coaching was great. Like, I wasn't expecting to not have a cookie cutter approach to it, because I think sometimes people are like, oh, we're just going to put everybody in all the same program. And one of the biggest things that I definitely noticed, Luke, was that when I would talk to you, I'd say, well, look, I can't reach a certain calorie count per day or whatever, because I had the gastric bypass, so I'm kind of limited in a couple of things. And you took that and said, well, we're going to incorporate that into your plan and we'll make that a part of your plan. And, you know, then it was like, oh, I'm having some shoulder pain. Can I figure out a way to kind of modify some of the things that I need to do? And I felt like you and Mark like worked with the program to really help that out. And then when I said, oh, I'm kind of feeling like I can't do this anymore, you guys reached out, which was great because it kept me motivated. And you would say, well, you know, we have other members that you can reach out to be able to kind of help you out with that. And then of course, you know, that was one of the big things that, you know, definitely brought me back into it when I would I felt more comfortable with sharing my progress, especially on social media. And so, you know, I was starting to do a lot more like flex poses. And I'm like, oh gosh, you guys, I just finished this great workout. Let me show you the video of what I was doing. And, you know, and I would get feedback and lots of support, and then have other people kind of reach out and say, gosh, what are you doing? You know, you're looking really good. I can tell you're feeling good about things. So I think those were the biggest things that I gained from the program for sure.
Awesome. So happy to hear that. And obviously you just showed the flexing, but let's go through like what are some of the specifically the results that you've got.
Yeah, so you know, again, like I said, like the arms have definitely been a substantial gain. It was like, oh my gosh, who knew that I could have like arms, right? And it was different because I had, you know, what are typically known as like the bat wings. And so it was like, I don't have that anymore. Like everything's kind of toned up. And so I definitely got some strength from that. And I think the biggest huge thing was the measurements. So I did a waist measurement in the beginning of the program. And after about 3.5 months, you and I kind of met and you were like, holy cow, Heather, you lost like 3 inches off your waist already. And I'm like, how could I even lose 3 inches off my waist? I didn't even think I had that to lose. And it's really hard sometimes to tell during a normal everyday thing. But then when you look at those, and you have somebody kind of talking with you saying, oh gosh, look at these measurements, you're definitely making progress. That was a huge key thing as well. And, you know, you and I, one of the cool things too, is that we talk about goals, because obviously it's not just the goal of getting like toned or getting whatever. It's like, how do I get my life back? What is a goal that I really want to do, that I want to push forward with as I'm going through the program? And you and I had discussed that I wanted to do a photo shoot. And I'm like, I really want to do this photo shoot. I really want to feel good about myself. I really want to, you know, be empowered and kind of take everything and just go forward with it. And I completed that last week and I have never felt so awesome. So it was like, I went in there kind of like, I don't know, maybe I should have like done a little bit more before I came in here, and came out like everything was perfect. And I could definitely tell in the pictures that I had done work through the program, because I'm like, look at how toned the legs are, look at how toned the arms are. It was just fantastic.
That is incredible. I'm so happy to hear that. And that's amazing when you can set your mind to something and achieve it like that. So that's,
Yes.
that's so awesome. I mean, so happy to hear about, you know, the results that you've gotten so far. And, you know, so the last question is like, you know, so for anyone who's like maybe on the fence about joining the program, like what would you say to that person about, you know, joining the program?
I was right there with you. I mean, I definitely was on the fence, and you know, like I would kind of like say, yep, I'm gonna do it. No, I'm not. And finally I just said, you know, if I really want to get serious about my health, and I really want to get serious about, you know, either looking better or feeling better, I'm gonna have to do something. And you know, I will say that definitely with this program, you're gonna get some personal interaction, which is amazing. You know, and you'll get personalized plans. And I think, you know, talking with the coaches that you would have, you know, you might be like initially like, oh, it's going to be like judgy and like weird. But it definitely never felt like that. Everything was very comfortable. And, you know, you have your weekly check-ins and you have other members that are checking in as well. And everybody's just so like low key and laid back and very supportive. And the fact that I can actually sit here and say, like, I saw results. And that was because I went in and did it and worked. And yeah, you're going to have to put in the work to do it, but it's definitely worth it completely in the end. So if you have any reservations about anything, you can definitely just say, I'm going to do it, and it'll totally be worth it.
Awesome. I'm so happy to hear that, and glad that you've been crushing it, like I said, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Luke.
Awesome.